If you want to be in business for the long run and stay relevant, you're going to need to keep tabs on the social media landscape and join social networks that are going to take you into the future. That's exactly what Snapchat does. This platform is one of the social media outlets that have come from a constantly evolving world of social media, and it uses a novel and never before seen method of communicating. A way of communicating that shows where the future of social media is headed. Snapchat is all about the next generation. Do you want one really great reason to join Snapchat? There are way more than one, but if you need just one, think about the fact that Snapchat has become one of the most popular social media applications for people aged 12 to 24 years old. As you can see, that means the next generation of buyers and the generation after that are all going to be potential Snapchat veterans. And if your brand is on Snapchat and has been from the beginning, there's a good chance that you're reaching a lot of these young people. Snapchat creates excitement. Another great reason to join is that the way that Snapchat works is extremely fun and promotes serious interactivity between users. Snapchat is an exciting way to use social media, and brands are capitalizing on these young people's desire for exciting content by providing them with things like behind-the-scenes information about an event or brand, special promotions, discounts or giveaways that they couldn't find out about from any other source. Because of the way that information is communicated and how quickly it disappears, Snapchat promotes excitement with every single post. Snapchat can increase your online presence and gain you new followers. You may already have profiles on websites like Twitter and Facebook, and you probably have a Pinterest account and other social media as well. But whenever you join a major social media network, you're going to be expanding your online presence and you'll gain followers all around as a result, as well as better retaining followers on your other social media networks. In fact, you'll have a significant number of people coming to follow you on Snapchat from your other social media profiles, as well as having people find your Twitter and Facebook because they followed you on Snapchat. No matter how you slice it, Snapchat is one very possible future of social media. Making sure that you are prepared for the next generation of buyers is something that every business should be doing. And when you see social media platforms like Snapchat that is gaining popularity so fast, to the tune of 200 million active users per month, you need to get involved as quickly as possible and start using it to build your business even bigger. What is Snapchat? Snapchat is a very powerful social media platform that has become very popular as of late. Major brands are not only starting to get their presence onto Snapchat, but also advertise on the platform through Snapchat's discovery system. Snapchat is similar to other social media applications in that you create a profile and then have followers or fans that you communicate with. However, that is pretty much the extent of the similarities. Snapchat is remarkably different in the way that users communicate with each other and in the ways that information is shared. How Snapchat works. Snapchat is a program that works with a very specific media for communicating with other users. There are a couple of differences that make this program unique and one of the most interesting social media platforms in use today, like using photos and videos to communicate with people. While Twitter, Facebook, and most social media platforms mainly communicate with text, the only text you will find here is in the captions on pictures and videos. Another difference with Snapchat is that when you post your pictures and videos, they will only last from 1 to 10 seconds, with just a single exception, which we'll get into later. It might be difficult to understand how this works if you've never used the application. Just imagine that someone you are following on social media posts something and you get an alert. You go to their feed and check what they've posted, and it's either a picture with a caption or a short video. Or, if you didn't get there fast enough, you missed out. That's basically how Snapchat works, and you have followers and friends on the platform just like you do with other social media websites. What is the point of Snapchat? Snapchat is leading the way into the future of social media. This platform is going to be one of the big ones that will serve the next generation of consumers. The app is already being used by most teenagers, and even Facebook has seen the value of Snapchat and offered $3 billion for the company. However, the creators of Snapchat believed in their company enough that they refused Facebook's offer. Facebook has people who analyze a great deal of data in order to predict future trends, and if they think Snapchat is valuable, then brands should be jumping on it as quickly as they can. So, what's the point of Snapchat? To socialize, to build a following, to communicate with other people who share interests with you or have an emotional investment in what you are posting. On one hand, Snapchat is just a social media platform, but on the other hand, it may be the application that leads the charge into the future where social media posts will be less text and more pictures and video. Brands like Mashable, National Geographic and Comedy Central, as well as several dozen others, see enough value in Snapchat to advertise with the application as part of the discovery feature, and thousands of others have joined the platform as well. If you have a brand, it should be on Snapchat. The first thing that you're going to need to do if you want to reap the benefits of the Snapchat application is to get your brand onto the platform. This video will explain exactly what you need to do to create your Snapchat account and how to fill out your profile information correctly so that your Snapchat is ready to use and you can start getting followers and marketing your brand in new and interesting ways. Signing up. Obviously, the first thing that you're going to want to do is download the Snapchat application. You can add this app to either your Android or your iOS device. There's no support for Windows operating systems as of yet, or any of the lesser-known ones. Once you have Snapchat downloaded onto your phone or mobile device, launch it and you'll be taken to a screen where it will ask you to either sign in or sign up. You're going to sign up with the following information. Email address. You'll want to use an email address that you actually check. In fact, this may be a good time to use your main email address or the one for your business. Whatever you do, don't just make one up because you'll have to verify your account. The next thing that you'll enter is your password and your date of birth. Now, there aren't many restrictions with your password and you should have no problem entering one. Your date of birth is also easy using the date tool that comes with most mobile devices. The last thing that you'll enter is your phone number. You'll want to enter a valid mobile number because they're going to send you a verification code and you'll have to enter that into the app to use it fully. Verification code. They're going to send you the verification code, but you may not be able to enter it into the app without some help navigating to the right place. Since we're going to get into navigation later on and explain where everything is, for now, just know that the place you enter your verification code is under the gear icon that opens the settings menu. Snapchat doesn't have a place for you to fill out your profile like Twitter and Facebook and other social media platforms do. In fact, you can't even upload your logo from the app. The only thing that you can do if you want to customize your profile from the app is take a picture of either your face or a picture of your logo and customize it that way. The only problem with this method is that it doesn't look professional, and as Snapchat takes a series of 5 pictures quickly in a row to make an animated GIF, it's impossible to hold your hand steady enough to get a decent picture, even if you have a high-quality camera. For brands, this is just unacceptable. However, there is a way to get your profile photo to be your logo and insert it digitally so that it is as high quality as possible. We'll get into that bit later on. Now that you've signed up for Snapchat and your brand is on the app, you're going to need to know how to use the application. In this video, we're only going to go over the basics, the things that you need to know to get around, and we're going to check out some of the buttons and knobs. Later on, we'll cover more advanced features and some other things in further detail, including some of the features that businesses are going to be using the most. The first thing that you need to know is how to navigate Snapchat successfully. So go to your app and open it and follow along as we discuss how you navigate through the Snapchat interface. When you enter the application, the first thing you'll see is your camera, either facing you or facing away from you, depending on what you've set it at. It's very easy to change the camera view. If you wanted to take a selfie instead of a picture of what's in front of you, all you do is touch the little smiley face surrounded by arrows in the top right of your camera screen. It's very easy to hit this accidentally, which is why you may see your camera facing front and facing you when you log in. Navigating is done with swipes. If you swipe right, you'll see your contacts list, which is probably just Team Snapchat right now. You can tap on the little speech bubble at the top right corner of the screen to chat with your contacts, and you can search for them by touching the magnifying glass. This is particularly useful if you have lots and lots of people in your contact list and you need to find a specific person. If you swipe left, you'll see the stories that have been posted, the major brands or the ones that have become a Snapchat partner on the top row, while the other stories are from live events under the word Live. If you swipe down from your home screen, you'll see your Snapchat QR code, which is the yellow icon with the ghost in the middle. Those dots that you see there send a message to mobile devices of users that want to follow you and make it very easy to follow someone. This is one of the revolutionary new methods of adding followers that Snapchat has come up with. There are several features on here. You'll see your trophies, for example, see who added you and add other people, and then get a list of your friends. You'll also notice there is a gear icon in the top right corner. Tapping this will allow you to view your personal information, and if you scroll down, you'll see the login verification setting. This is where you'll enter the code that they sent you via your mobile device. If you chose not to add a phone number, they will have you solve a puzzle instead to prove that you're a human being. We're now going to go over a couple of the features that businesses use most, namely the logo and the QR code. This is intended as a sort of quick start process. Adding your logo to your Snapchat is going to take some creativity. That's because Snapchat doesn't allow you to upload a logo. What it does allow you to do is take a picture, which is actually a series of 5 pictures taken one right after the other. Pictures of your face or whatever you want. So you can take a picture of your logo and it will be on your Snapchat profile and QR code. You could either find a way to take a picture with a camera that's perfectly still and very high quality, or come up with some creative way to take a picture of your logo with the 5 snapshots, which will then be strung together to make a short GIF. As for your QR code, it is intended to be something that you share in the real world and allow people to take pictures of to add you on Snapchat. You can add your logo to your QR code image, but you have to be careful doing it so that you don't mess up the code embedded within the dots that allows Snapchat to recognize your brand from that QR code. The first thing that you're going to do is download your QR code, which requires you to go to the Snapchat website, log into your Snapchat account, and then download your QR code. Then you can either take it into Photoshop yourself, and Photoshop is recommended for this particular project because of the layers function, and magically erase the white ghost. Then you put your logo on the layer below it so that it can be seen through the transparency of the ghost. You could also find someone on Fiverr to do it for you if you don't have Photoshop or don't want to use it. There are some pretty specific guidelines that you need to follow, however, and if you're outsourcing this project, make sure that you share these with the person. Do not alter the shape of the ghost and do not break or remove the black border around the ghost. This will cause your QR code to fail and people will not be able to use it to follow you on Snapchat. Don't stretch the box in any way or change the shape of it. Don't invert the colors to try to be different. Do not print on glossy paper or cardstock because the shine may prevent people from scanning your code. Then you just put up the QR code anywhere you want, your website, social media platforms, and anywhere online, but also in the real world. You can have the QR code blown up and posted on the wall at your brick and mortar store. You can even put it on your business cards. You might even be able to put it on a billboard or on the side of company vehicles, but you should test that thoroughly before spending any significant amount of money on it. Now we're going to go over some of the more advanced features of Snapchat. We're going to skip things that will be covered later, like stories, but this will allow you to use the basic functions of Snapchat, like videos and pictures, to get you started in the platform's world. You don't have to take standard picture or video with Snapchat. By default, the videos are zoomed all the way out, but all you have to do to zoom in is use 2 fingers and pull them apart just like you're zooming in on a web page on your phone. Zooming out is the opposite. Bring your fingers together. One small side note, if you haven't found it yet, the control to flip your camera from front facing to rear facing is on the top right of your video screen. In case you don't know, you can use the photos that are in your phone's library to use in one-to-one communication in a direct message. All you do is swipe right on any friend that you want to send a picture to and tap on the blue bubble at the left side of the screen when it comes into the frame. Your private chat will open with them and you can tap on the yellow circle like you're getting ready to take a picture. And when your camera comes up, look at the bottom right where you'll see the last photo that you took and you can tap on it and open your library. Then insert whatever photo from the library that you want and share it as a snap. You probably already know that you can add a caption to your picture video. After all, the app sometimes asks you if you want to leave a caption when you click the shutter button. If it doesn't, you can click the T at the top. But did you know that there are actually ways that you can improve your caption? Here are the ways that you can make your snaps and videos look amazing. You can change the size of your caption text as well as the placement. All you have to do is, after you type your caption, type the T a second time and it will make your text much larger and thicker. If you tap it again, it will center your text. If you want to make your text even bigger, then use the same spreading your fingers motion that you use to zoom and make it as big as you like. Make sure that you put each finger on the end of the text. It may take a few practice tries. You can then experiment with moving the text around and resizing it to create anything you want. You probably saw the icon that looks like a piece of paper to the left of the text icon, and the one on the right that looks like a pencil or pen. The one on the left is the comprehensive list of emojis that Snapchat has to offer. You can choose an emoji and then resize it just like you did with the text as well, and you can move it around or rotate it or do anything you like. If you tap on the pencil icon, it allows you to choose a color and then write with your finger, or a stylus if you have one, on your snap. You can find a list of the emojis and what they mean online. Another thing that you can do is go to your settings menu and turn on geo filters. All you do is go down to additional services and tap manage, and it will allow you to enable filters. Once you've done this, you can go back to your picture and it will ask you, or rather tell you, that you can swipe right for filters. Filters differ with each geographical zone, which is why Snapchat asked for your zip code. Go through the filters that are available and see if there's any that you like. There are a couple of neat things that you can do that we will end the video with. First, you can tap on the words in your caption, and you'll notice that tapping on one word will underline it, and then when you tap on the word and hold it, it will highlight it. Then you can change the color of that individual word to whatever you want. This is particularly useful if you want to use letters as frames. You can play with this and find what works best for you, but as an example, you could make the O large enough to where most of it is out of frame and the part that is left frames your picture as an oval. Finally, another advanced feature that you should know about is that once per day you can replay someone's snap. However, it has to be the last snap that you viewed. You'll see the option to replay on your screen after the snap expires. Marketing on Snapchat is a little unusual and it's centered around the story feature. The first thing you should know is what a story actually is, and this requires understanding a little bit of snapshot terminology if you haven't already learned it. A snap is a video or a picture that you send to a specific person. Although you certainly can advertise with snaps, they're only going to go to one person at a time and they disappear in no more than 10 seconds. This makes it almost unusable as a marketing tool, even if it were lucrative to send snaps to your existing friends list. Of course, it's not lucrative and that's the point, so we won't worry too much about snaps in this video. However, we are going to discuss stories. The difference between a story and a snap is that stories contain multiple images and video, and they stay available for viewing for 24 hours. The other difference is that while you can send snaps just to people on your friends list, or the rare person that is enabled everyone to send them snaps, your stories can be viewed by anyone you choose. You can set your account to allow anyone to view your stories. Since stories can be shared, they are also a great marketing strategy. So, how do you set your account so that everyone can view your stories? Well, this is something, as you may have guessed, that can be done in your settings menu. So, swipe down, and when you get to the page where it allows you to see who's added you, click on the settings gear in the top right. Then go down to where you can change both who can send you snaps and who can view your stories. So, now you're ready to start sharing stories on Snapchat. You may not know how to build a story yet, but that's okay because we're going to cover that later in the video. Make sure that you let other social media networks know when you post a story because you'll have Snapchat users on those networks and they will log in and check out your story. If your story is geared towards some sort of product or service, then you definitely want as many people viewing it as possible. So don't just rely on Snapchat to get views. However, keep in mind to always be entertaining so that users will want to share your story with others and will come back for the next one. If you want to be successful in marketing on Snapchat, then you're going to need to get a following. Just like with your Twitter and Facebook followers, the more people that you have following you, the higher the chances that other people will follow you. This video will give you some tips on getting your first followers on Snapchat, as well as some things not to do to get followers. The first thing that you want to do is make sure that everything that you're posting is creative and fun and shows off your artistic expressions. Posting boring content with text that never changes over the same boring videos of products are going to get you exactly nowhere with Snapchat. But pictures of people using your product in unconventional ways, with your caption and emojis, now that's going to get people's interest and make them want to share your content. We discussed this earlier, but it might be useful to understand exactly how you should use your social networks to get Snapchat followers. The best way to do this is to come up with compelling things to post on your Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever social network you're using. These are teaser items such as a promo code within a story that you can only get if you go to Snapchat. Place your Snap code or Snapchat information anywhere that you can. Post it on your website, around your store if you have one, and anywhere else that you can think of where people that you want to influence will be willing to join Snapchat or are already using it. You also put it on your business cards, put a link to it in your email, and even advertise on forums that are in your industry. Do you know a YouTuber or someone who has a large following online but isn't necessarily a Hollywood celebrity? Do you think there's someone who would be interested in your product or service? You might be able to leverage influencers by offering them something special that they will almost always talk about afterwards, and you can get followers from that. There are a few things that you shouldn't do to get followers on Snapchat. One of them is to use one of the services offered on websites like Fiverr that promise to get you thousands of followers. For one thing, they're not going to buy anything from you and may not even have real people behind them. Also, you might get your Snapchat account banned by doing so at some point in the future. You should also try not to be boring and make sure that you're accessible in some way because users don't want a shadowy face in the background. They want a real live human being behind your company that they can interact with. You're going to use stories to do more than advertise your products or services. Think of a story like a viral video. You know, if you make it overly promotional, it's not going to work. You want something clever, something that no one has ever seen, and something that evokes emotion in a human being. This will make them want to share with their friends, and it will give you the exposure that you're looking for. But creating good stories will also make people want to follow you, so every time you create a story, keep in mind that you're both trying to get people to follow you, and you're trying to get your product or service out there. If you want to know how to create a great Snapchat story, then go online and look at some of the best ones that have ever been made. There are lots of Snapchat stories that have been featured on websites like BuzzFeed, Mashable, or even some of the more conventional media out there. As you look through those Snapchat stories and laugh, try to think of ways in which you can incorporate a similar campaign on your own Snapchat account that will both be entertaining and promote your product or service a little. Stories can not only be told in photos, they can also include video. You can come up with a clever idea to pair the video and the snapshots if you like. There are lots of ways to create a good story, but it starts with a good idea. Sit down with employees or even your friends and try to come up with a Snapchat story that would be funny. Use anything for inspiration. Go to Google and search and type in a random word and look at the images that come up with that word. Look around your environment and see if there's anything there that amuses you. Think about the last thing that you found funny and why you liked it. There are lots of ways to come up with great ideas for stories. Sit down and storyboard your story, which means that you decide which order your snaps and videos are going to go in before you even take them in some cases. Then make sure that you have the right order and a compelling story that's going to keep people clicking the next button. Remember, just like with YouTube videos, you shouldn't go over a few minutes in length, otherwise people are going to get bored. Now you can get to work making great stories on Snapchat.